Did you know you can sponsor your favorite podcast on the Spin Market Podcast Network? Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Stockdale, host of the Spin Market Report. In 2025, our podcast had over 26,000 streams, and our YouTube channels had over 1.4 million views. Whether you're promoting a product, service, or event, we'll help you reach the audience that matters. Get more information on how to sponsor a podcast at spinmarket.com. Spin Market, your business, your message, our platform.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Oh man, it's episode 99.
It's hard to believe, but yes, we are so excited. You're going to be our 99th episode, but that's an exciting way to end before our big 100th.
Big 100. It's going to be so fun.
Can't tell you what's going on.
This is like kind of outside the park baseball here, but this will be the second podcast here that we've taken to 100 episodes.
Yes. From very beginning till now. Yes.
All the way.
The second one. And what normally 15%.
Yeah, it's like 15 or 20 maybe get to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Other than that, it's like, I can't remember how many don't even make it out of single digits.
Exactly.
It's pretty wild. So dedication, consistently consistent. It's going to be so much fun. This week we're sitting down. We've got John Cagle here. John, You work for 777 Remodeling, Renovations, and Repairs, or some people call it 777.
Yes.
Yes. That was one of the things I remember hearing the 777. Then I saw your logo and I'm like, oh, there's sevens in it. There's sevens in it.
Yep. Yeah. There's sevens and a triangle there, just for the trinity of it. So
I love the logo. I love the logo. Yeah. So could you like break down like what exactly is 777 Remodeling, Renovations, Repairs? Like what do you guys do and what kind of don't you do? Broad stroke it for me.
We do everything from the ground up: interior, exterior, remodeling, renovations, and repairs. Obviously, it's a little longer on the name, but commercial and residential. So we get into all of it.
Nice.
Big or small, we do it all. And that's from the ground up: exteriors, foundations, framing, siding, roofing, and then everything from the floor up inside. We'll do all your flooring needs, walls, ceilings, insulations. So everything. We go from the ground up. So
that's wild. How did you get started doing this? Was this something did you work for somebody and that's how you learned all this, or did you just kind of start as a youngster and pick up the trade along the way a little bit here and there?
Exactly. Basically growing up, my parents and surrounding family were more in the remodeling, flipping houses, things like that. So I had a little bit of it growing up and being around it. So I kind of dove into it from there, and I've been doing it ever since. So 20 plus years. And
oh, wow.
So building houses from the ground up, all the way doing the guts, tear downs, and rebuilds.
Wow.
So and I've done some commercial. I've done some airplane hangars. I've done ag buildings. So my experience itself, kind of feeds off to everybody that's in the crews, and it's a good help for us. So
nice.
So
how did the business start out then? Like, what was the first job you had on your own? Because you said you were kind of working with your family a little bit, but then when did you go out on your own?
So I was out on my own at 21 years old.
Wow.
And started kind of doing my own projects here and there, and got licensed and everything else. And then through the years, back and forth, I made a couple of moves and locations. So now I've been here in Iowa for 3 years, and in Fort Dodge area, in the surrounding area. And I just noticed that, obviously I didn't know anybody here, so it kind of just was feeling it out for the first year, see what was going on with the community, the culture, and just to be part of this community and kind of feel it out. I wanted to see what the options were, and so I've been open for a year now, and over a year here in this location, and I can see a lot of the area needs, some updating. It needs change, and Fort Dodge, I want to be part of the community here. I want to see the change. I want to see the growth in the community with the people. I'm excited to see the upgrades we can do. And again, it's about teamwork, positivity, growth, opportunities. And I know that the people want to see that change here.
Absolutely.
And I want to be a part of that. I'm diving right in. So
you hit the nail on the head. This, especially the downtown area here in Fort Dodge, has like some of the best bones of a downtown anywhere in Iowa. I would put it up against anywhere. It just needs a little TLC here and there.
Yep. And I've seen it. I've seen it the last couple of years, and when I decided to open this up, I just saw a need for it. And, obviously my specialty, what I do, remodeling, renovations, and repairs. I want to be able to give that and serve that to the community. So,
You said you've been here like 3 years. Where did you initially come from? Were you still in Iowa?
no, I wasn't in Iowa.
Okay.
I was in Washington at the time.
Oh, the state?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The state, yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask if like weather was like a big change, but no, you have plenty of weather out there on the West Coast up there.
Yes, definitely. There was a lot of change in the when the pandemic hit, COVID and everything else, and I got kids, and they were going to public school at the time, and COVID really impacted the area in Washington, and not just where I was at, but the whole state. Californians, excuse me, at the time were kind of flooding in north.
Oh, yeah.
They were going all over the place.
Went to
the
Texas.
market,
Yeah.
everywhere. And I'm not blaming California for trying to move out or anything, but the population probably increased by 200%.
Oh, wow.
And when you get something like that,
It was too much too fast.
It was too much too fast, and it starts flooding the market, not for building or anything, but for like sales on groceries, your commodities. Housing market was just going through the roof. Taxes were going skyrocketed. So, and it got so bad to the point where they were having tent cities all over the place where we were at. And, 10 years prior to that, we didn't see a single homeless person in where I was living, where we were residing. And we decided that about 2 years prior to us moving, we were playing with the idea of moving out and just kind of starting over again.
Yeah.
And we did.
I feel like that happened to a lot of people. I mean, that happened to me. I changed jobs, twice during the pandemic, and everything just changed so fast. And I feel like the people that were brave enough to make the change are reaping the benefits now of that,
Definitely. Yeah.
So at what point in time when you moved out here, started doing stuff out here, did you, or maybe before that, when did you start feeling like you were part of the industry? Like you said, you started at 21, kind of doing this stuff on the side and starting your own business. At what point in time were you like, I'm in this industry, I am part of this. This isn't just something I'm kind of doing for fun. This isn't just a job. I'm living this now.
Like I said, 21 years old.
Yeah.
I started my own company at 21, and I felt like I was a part of it at that point.
Fully invested already.
Invested. Everything that I was doing for, the community, relations, the public, I knew I was fully invested at that point, just from the first time I seen a customer smile about a project that I did for them.
I love that.
That just makes me have so much joy to be able to see a customer smile after something you've given them, a vision, a dream that they had, and you were
Too
able
bad you can't put that into a review, that smile into a review, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Awesome. I mean, it's so rewarding for me to be able to see a customer elated after seeing a renovation on their kitchen. They had this big dream. They've saved for 15 years for this. They hadn't, ever thought they could get to that point. And when you can go in there in a week or 2 weeks and totally gut it, revamp it, install all new, and relay it out for them, it's like I said, it's a dream come true for them. And that's the joy and the reward that I get, seeing a customer get something that they've saved so long for. So with that being said, that's kind of how I kind of flew into the industry. The joy I got from it, the smiles on customers' faces, and what I can do to make change, for people, upgrades, updating their homes. It doesn't just, your home life doesn't just impact the people outside of it or the people in it. It impacts you, your spiritual, or you in the spirit also, and your mindset. When you walk into a room and you see it dark, obviously it's maybe a negative atmosphere. When you walk in a room and there's light, it's a positive atmosphere. So when you brighten things up and you make a change for the better and updated and more modern, things start getting positive for people.
Yeah.
It's the way I see it anyways.
I like the kitchen analogy, because that one made me think, like, if you don't like your kitchen, you're not going to spend as much time in there, which means maybe you're not cooking as many meals for your family, or maybe you're just not even cooking.
Or the layout's not right.
Yeah.
You know?
It just impacts you, and you might not even know it's doing that, and it's dragging you down, and then before you know it, you get something new. It's where you want it to be. I actually have a stove, the stove that I wanted instead of just whatever was here when I moved in. That's got to be such a good feeling.
It's a great feeling, especially when you're saving up for it for so long. You know, a lot of people, they'll save and save and save, don't know what they're saving for, but sometimes at one point or another, they've always wanted this dream bathroom or this dream kitchen or a new paint job on their walls, new siding on their house. You know, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's a rewarding feeling for not just me, but the customer to be able to invest into that. It just warms the soul. It warms people up to be able to see the new change, the positivity out of it.
That's a great why as to like why you're doing this. Like, yes, it's a job, there's money involved, etc. But you do this because you want to see the people happy at the end of the day.
Everybody wants people. Yeah. Everybody wants peace.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be happy. They want to enjoy what they're investing into, you know, not feeling like it's ripped away from them or losing it. Yeah. You know, or it's degrading on them. They want it fresh and new. You know, and that's what Fort Dodge, I see a lot of Fort Dodge needing. You know, especially in this downtown area, we can do a lot of tuck pointing. We could do refacing things.
You do tuck pointing too.
All of it. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a huge need downtown.
There's so many things that are needed down here. And I don't want to be negative about it. It's an opportunity is the way I look at it. Well, you know, it's an opportunity to be able to give a facelift for where we reside as a community, where we reside as a population here in Fort Dodge. It needs that positivity, that upgrade, you know, the update.
Well, the downtown district is historic.
Yeah, it is.
And that is very important to keep that history there. And these buildings have a lot of history.
Yeah,
a lot of really cool history.
I've heard a lot of history in the last 3 years since I've been here. And I'm excited just to see it reformed and rebuilt to that history, you know. The facelift again, you know, it needs that perk, you know, that rise out of it. And I'm hoping we can do that here. So
that's awesome. I do have like one of the questions I had in here, like a lot of this was for like homeowner type renovations, and I didn't really think too much about how you do business renovations as well, exterior and interior, etc. So these might be not be pointed as well as I want them to be now, but let's say you're a homeowner and you're like, yeah, I kind of want to remodel my kitchen. What's the biggest mistake people make? Let's say they're going to maybe try and do it themselves, or maybe they're looking for a contractor. They don't know who to look for.
Don't pick up the hammer.
Don't pick up the hammer.
Leave everything alone for a while.
No, ask questions. You know, the first key, you know, and people already do that internally. They already ask themselves when they walk into their kitchen or their bathroom, man, I wish I had a different vanity. I wish I had a different toilet. I wish it was higher. I wish the floor looked better. You know, I wish my floor wouldn't be dirty out looking all the time. I want to do tile instead of vinyl, you know. Those things right there, back to your question is ask yourself questions and then ask somebody else. You know, ask the contractor or ask me and call me. That's fine. That'd be great. I'm more than happy to give somebody some pointers or some views maybe they weren't thinking of. But ultimately, it's about the customer and they're living with it, and that's what they want. So asking questions is the first thing. You know, I would definitely ask questions on, is it doable? Is my dream too big? What's the cost of it? You know, what are some ideas on how to transform something like, you know, in your kitchen? You know, most people probably don't have an island to work off of, you know, or a butcher block. And if they do, great, that's awesome. But you can still relay things out so it's more utilized, you know, your space. You can make things, you know, work customly with your cabinets, you know, utilize the space that's there and don't try to tear out everything, you know, customers think that it's a huge project, it's a huge overcoming to deal with, but really it's just asking questions, getting the information first before you guys do anything, and then we can kind of go from there.
I like that. I feel like there's an odd parallel between what you do and what we do here, where people kind of have this vision. I kind of want this, and I don't really know exactly how to explain it, and I can't quite draw it out, but this is kind of what I want, or like, what would be the best way to go about doing this if I don't want to do X, Y, Z, and I want to do A, B, C? And
I've always said that it's, two heads are better than one, and if you got 3, 4, 5, that's even better. Mm-hmm. You got so many different views to go from and go off of and bounce off of. One of those views is going to turn into something, and you're going to be able to get what you want.
When you were talking about don't take the hammer to the kitchen or whatever, is exactly what I was thinking about at the same time. When we tell clients, if you're not happy with your website, don't go in and do anything to it yet.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out, because of what happens when they go in and they push the wrong button, they saved it wrong, whatever it may be, and actually created more problems than if they would have just left it alone, had a structured plan and organized.
Right. Planning and preparation's everything. And we do that in our company from the ground up. We'll meet with you. We'll sit and talk with you. We're working on getting into CADing programs and mock-ups and drafts for people. So when we do open the store location downtown here, we're going to have options. And those options are better to go with than trying to pick up the hammer yourself half the time and then making more problems down the road.
Yeah. You had mentioned like, sometimes maybe you don't need to tear out the whole entire cabinet. Maybe it just needs to be refinished. Maybe you just need to countertop the facing or something. It doesn't have. It makes me think of like those people are like, I tried fixing this on my car, but now it doesn't work. Right. But all the parts are in a box now, and then you tow it to a mechanic, and you're like, good luck, buddy. It's kind of the same comparison.
Don't touch it. Well, it's again, yeah, you're absolutely right, Peter. It's planning and preparation from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Ask questions, get a plan in place. Then you can tackle it with more than one person, more than yourself, because more ideas and more people that work together on it, the better plan it is, and the better results you're going to get.
Yeah, measured twice and cut once,
100%.
Like literally.
Yeah, and in company and business the same way. It's not all about the boss or getting glory or being the one and only. It's about teamwork. You have all these guys, our crews, everybody's on the same page. They have to have the same plan and the same goal at the end of the day or at the end of the job, the end of the week. Teamwork gets results. You doing it by yourself, you're going to end up crashing somewhere. You're going to end up having a problem. You're going to have to pick yourself back up, or somebody else is going to help you out. Somebody else is going to have to pick you up. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that, going into any project, going into any job or customer relationship, it's about teamwork. Everybody on the same page, everybody having the same vision, and talking about it, communicating about it, getting things written down, drafted up. Planning and preparing is the best way to start it out.
Yeah, having that team there, having everybody on the same page, the finish line is here, we're all going to take this route to get there, and then when you're at the finish line, it's done. Yep. It makes me think about, and a little quick plug for you put up a wall in one of the offices here.
Yep.
And it was one of those things where you're looking at it and you're like, this is interesting. And then you can't really come in here and saw stuff up while we're in the middle of a business day. So you'd come in on the weekends or at night or like just for an hour here and there. Before you know it, it wasn't even 2 weeks and the whole thing was up and done, painted, trimmed, window in, door in, the whole 9 yards. And
planning and preparation.
Exactly.
We got to make it work. And we do everything that we can to make sure that the customer's 100% satisfied. We've got a 100% review rating right now, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I love that.
That's our customers knowing that we're going to be there and going the extra mile all the time, every time, and it's communication through the whole thing. So,
do you have like a most memorable project you've worked on? Either here locally or before you moved here, or like a big transformation you saw in a building where you were like, I'm kind of glad we came in and did this, even if it's just painting the wall. Like, was there anything you were like, whoa?
Physically and looking at projects, they're about all the same to me. I'll be honest, because I do such a variety. It's the moments when I have it with the customer. It's the moments when I have that communication and that personal relation with them. It's the moments when the project's finished and they have so much joy and elated with the results. Those are the most memorable moments for me.
Nice.
It is. I get so much joy, and I'm not an emotional person most of the time. I'll be honest, I'm not. But I get so much joy out of seeing somebody have their dreams, brought to life, their visions, what they wanted and what they planned for so long.
You had mentioned teamwork makes the dream work. You do have a team of people around you that help you do what you need to do. You are the owner. You do the things as well. You're also in the trenches with everyone.
Oh yeah.
Is there some part of this that's the toughest of it all? Is it building the team? Is it making sure you're all on the same page? Is it the business aspect instead of actually like hammering and nailing? Is like what is the most difficult or challenging part of all this for you?
The most challenging part for me, honestly, is being able to get to every customer.
Oh, okay.
Because there's so many customers that want this or need that. It's getting them on the schedule. The workforce industry, in the last 5 years or so has gone down so much. I feel very lucky and blessed to have the guys that I do, the group of guys that I have around me right now, and even you guys. Just the networking that we have to be able to make this work. For me, it's honestly being able to get to everybody. There's a need for remodeling. There's a need for renovations. There's a need for repairs constantly. And I'd love to be the yes man. I'd love to be like, yeah, I can do it right now for you, for every single person. But for me, the hardest thing is saying no. It really is. We have teamwork. We have togetherness. We have all the growth. And with the people in the business now, everybody, the group that we have, everything's firing off on all cylinders. I mean, we do weekly meetings on Mondays. We get on the same page. We assess the week before. We assess the customer relations. We go over everything on Monday morning just to set the week ahead to make sure that we're prepared and planning for every situation.
That's beautiful.
The hard moments is just saying no.
What about dealing with like an unexpected issue? You had mentioned you were doing this pre-COVID. COVID, there was some supply shortages, supply changes. The cost of things changed dramatically, and it's still kind of changing a little bit. It's for a while there it was like, what is trees made of gold now? It was just everything just changed so fast. What were some of the biggest challenges you had with that, and how did you mitigate them or relay that to the clients and customers that you had?
Everybody knows we all live in the same world here, right? And we all know that the markets fluctuate up and down. We all know that there's material handling and delivery issues constantly with whoever it is, whoever you're getting the material from. So really the biggest key is communication, making sure that everybody is aware and understanding the situation. Your customers, they won't be upset with you if you're honest. You tell them, hey, this is the situation. You got them on the schedule. You want to keep that schedule. Everybody wants to keep the same schedule. The communication with the customer and what's going on with the supply and the demand is the bottom line. You have to make sure that you're just staying in communication with everybody. Communicate with the stores, communicate with your suppliers, communicate with the customers, make sure everybody's on the same page.
I love that.
It's from start to finish on every project. You have to have everybody on the same page in order to get your completions.
I've oftentimes said, and I've said it in other podcasts, I mean, even when I'm interviewing those kids at, high school and stuff, I feel like communications is the most important part of any job. It's the most integral part of anything you can do, working for anybody,
That's right.
Being a business owner. I feel like that's what college teaches you really well. If you go to college and you complete a degree, you're learning how to communicate with people. It's what you're saying is you're basically not like, I'm going to quote you price A and then not tell you that plywood is through the roof now, and now it costs $80 billion to build a wall. Like you just show up and it's like, here's the bill. Like you're communicating with everybody. You're letting everyone know. You're basically putting the choice into the client. It's like, if this is what's happening, what can we do? Well, we can wait a little while. We can push you further down the ladder. Or if you're okay with this, let's do this. Let's, we'll keep you on the schedule. We'll do it right when we need to, and it'll be done on time, and everything will be great.
Yeah, anything that pops up like that in business or transactions or, with your project, that's always verbally and written with us. We want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We don't move a step until everybody knows exactly what the results are going to be first.
I love that. I don't know why I like that. So it's just so fun. How do most people find you? That's something that, you don't really, contractors aren't really people that are just like out in the public all the time. You're not like going from door to door knocking and like, you know, you're in someone's house or someone's business at one given time or another. How do people find you? Is it word of mouth? Is it they see, oh, my friend's kitchen looks nice, who did this? Or like, how do they find you?
A lot of it's, referrals. I mean, obviously I'm new to the area and the community. We are getting out there a little bit. But to find me, you can call me. You can go on my website, put in a submission. And really, I mean, I think I'm out there enough where people can ask about 777 or 777 remodeling, and they're going to know who you're talking about. I mean,
if you're looking for the website, I'm going to put it down below. So anybody looking for the website, just scroll in the description, start clicking. It's rrrimprovements.com.
Yep, definitely. And then my phone number, which is going to be streamlined through the office that we're opening up and everything else.
Oh, cool.
So we'll have somebody that we'll be able to get a hold of or talk to, communicate with also.
How important is word of mouth, do you think, for your business?
100%. It's again, you got your review, you got your networking, you got your internet, all of that. But when you're doing a job and you are person to person with somebody, and they were referred by a friend, that means the world to anybody, honestly, because it's a physical, actual contact, almost like the touch, see feeling versus something that online you're just looking at. You know? It's not in your presence. You don't have that grasp on it.
Yeah.
So it means a lot to have good referrals and people to talk about you.
It makes me think those referrals that you get is like, that's somebody that you help them redo their kitchen or remodel their kitchen or their bathroom. And they're like, I love this so much. I'm just going to go tell somebody else about how much I love this. And then before you know it, somebody else, well, I want my bathroom remodeled too, you know?
And again, that feeds right back to that, you know, that joy that the customer gets, and they're now telling somebody else how joyful they are. So that's creating that piece, that trifecta, that trend, you know. It goes from one person to the next. Positive brings positive, and it just starts to like illuminate and grow around you. And that's what we need here in Fort Dodge too. You know, it's just the positivity and people to be smiling everywhere. You know, I don't like to make it like a perfect world, but you know, it's true. Positive brings positive.
100%.
You know,
it's very true.
You stay positive with people and you communicate and you keep yourself on the same level. The sky's the limit.
Yep.
You know, we can do anything in this business. We can do anything anywhere as long as you're on the same page and communicating.
It's all perspective.
It's
all perspective. One of the questions I have on here, and this is going to make me, I don't want to sound ignorant to this, but do you use social media to do like before and after photos of jobs you've done? Or
I haven't. And this may sound, I don't know, in this day and age where people use the internet and Facebook for almost everything, I'm more of the personable type. I'm more of the face-to-face. I like the personal relations with people. So no, I don't use Facebook.
Wow.
That's something that, you know, we've talked about doing for the company. And I don't mind, you know, toying with that idea, of course. And I think we should. I think that'd be great. A great way to, you know, get in contact with the community a lot more. But it's about the personal relations for me. You know, face to face. I want to be honest and upfront. I want to see somebody. I don't want to hear them on the phone. I don't want to hear them through a text message. I want to be right there in front of you so that we can make sure that we're on the same page.
That's so easy to get the emotion from them too.
Exactly.
It's like you can tell if somebody's happy or not if they're talking to you face to face. And a text message could be like, "Looks great," and you're like, "Well, I guess it looks great."
You can read it 5 different ways.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just there's too many emotions that can rise and go everywhere when you're doing text messages or Facebook or whatever. I think that personal relations with your contractor and your client is way more important than anything else. That's where you're going to get your results.
I will say, just from personal experience, your industry does mirror a lot of what you're saying. There's not always a whole lot of before and after photos. There's a lot of word of mouth.
Personal ones. I have personal photos that I take of every job, you know, before and after, and then it gives me the opportunity to evaluate what we can do better or what we may have missed, or maybe different ideas on how to restructure, reformat something or relay something out. So I do have personal photos that I take of every job before and after, and some videos.
Nice.
But And I can stream those things too if I wanted to. And I think I will, obviously, here in the future with Spin Market.
We'll definitely showcase some of that for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did go and get photos of your new home because there's going to be some dramatic changes.
Yes, there is.
And you would not be able to explain it without that photo, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I really didn't even know what you were going to get into.
Oh, yeah. I'm going the whole 9 yards on it.
That'll be fun. It's almost like leading by example. It's like, look what it was, look what it is, and now it's my office, and we can do this for you. You know,
we can do this right here in downtown.
Yep.
Honestly, everybody can have that. It's not just a half. Excuse my language. It's not half done. It's gonna be full.
We go.
It's gonna be 100%. So
I love that.
Yep.
Okay, so what's next for the business? You're moving downtown here? You're getting your own place here in downtown Fort Dodge. Are you looking to grow? Or are you looking to expand? Or are you just kind of steady as it goes, and we're just going to keep plugging away?
There's always opportunity to expand. We're doing a 75-mile radius right here from Fort Dodge.
Cool.
So we want to hit the smaller towns like Algona, Humble.
Go
Rockwell. Yeah,
I'm from Humboldt. So
definitely. We don't want to be just specifically in Fort Dodge. There's always room to grow everywhere, and the more you grow, the further you have to go. But for me here, the next step, the only step right now, is just to focus on a 75-mile area around Fort Dodge. The smaller cities, the smaller towns like Jefferson, Rockwell City, Webster City. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they can't get a hold of their contractor. They can't get a hold of this person, or they're not getting back to them. We want to focus on this footprint right here and see if we can't just service this community. And however far it takes us, it takes us. I don't want to overbear us, and I don't want to overcome too much, but we just want to be able to service 100%, and the quality and the professionalism that we're going to have needs to be first. That way the customer's getting everything that they deserve.
I love that. I love how you have set in stone, like, these are the things I want, and I'm going to make sure that these happen regardless of anything. Yes, growth is important, but we need to maintain.
You can't skip any steps in business. You can't skip any steps wherever you go, and you can't skip any steps in a project. It will come out one way or another. You full honesty, full picture. Everything, you've got to make sure that you're doing every step. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem down the road. You're going to have to come back to it at some point. So our growth is important to me, but it's got to be done right. And we got to make sure that we service every customer 110%.
Soundbite, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Made me think the pun for this would be, you're not going to cut a corner. Because, obviously, if you cut the corner, then that's the joke, I guess.
It isn't a joke anymore when you have to explain the joke.
I always felt like that was a
Don't ruin the structural integrity.
There you go. Exactly.
Okay, I got some goofy questions here to round this out on. Then we'll come back to the last question. But what's one tool you couldn't live without? What's the one tool where you're like, I have to have this with me everywhere I go? It's like your secret weapon. I don't know if it's a tape measure or hammer or.
I was gonna be a smart aleck on this, but I have a stiletto hammer.
Okay.
It's the hammer that I've used for 15 plus years.
Nice.
And it's a hammer that I wouldn't see myself doing anything without of.
Nice.
So it's funny. It's kind of funny. You go back to it. Don't use a hammer, but the main thing is that I've used it for so many things and so many odd projects, and on every project, that is kind of my go-to for making sure that I have it everywhere I go.
Cool. So, nice. I love
but
that.
It's a hammer. It's kind of goofy, I guess.
No,
but
it isn't. There's certain things that just feel right.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
swung it so many times. I mean, it's an extension of you at this point.
Exactly. We're blood brothers.
I probably almost literally at times. The fun part about the hammer analogy is I always make the analogy of AI is kind of like a hammer. It's so useful. You can't like screw in a screw with a hammer, but so it's not perfect for everything, but it can help you do a lot of stuff, even some stuff you might not think of.
You'd be surprised what you can do with a claw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
Okay, here's another one. HGTVs. realistic or not? Realistic or not?
Okay.
Because you always see
man.
those things. It's like, well, you know, I vacuum carpets for a living. I have a budget of $487 million. Can you help me renovate? Like, is any of this stuff realistic, or is it?
You know, I think it's a hit and miss.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not much of a TV person. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm more engaging and active. Mm-hmm. So I like to be going and experience new things all the time and growing off my own experiences. So you get more out of doing something physically and in the moment than you do watching somebody else. Oh, so yeah. HGTV, yeah, it's okay to promote and do these things here and there. I don't know how honest they are on everything. I'm not in the background of everything.
Yeah, you're not double checking all their prices on everything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't invest my time into those things. But yeah, I mean, that's home and garden or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they're always renovating a house or redoing a kitchen or something. It seems like on those. If nothing else,
they don't
it's great.
Tell you the pricing, the actual pricing. They don't give you the receipt to look at.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Honestly, they're just telling you their numbers. And really, some of those programs, it's always going to vary on what community you're in.
Oh, like the location.
The location. So you could be doing this project in California and it costs you $15,000, where in Iowa it costs you $5,000. You know, it always varies. So it's not something to really reference to.
And a lot of people are
pricing.
They don't put that disclaimer on there.
They don't. They just they want you to just see what they're doing and see how they're doing it, and then show you the bullet price. But honestly, I mean, Kentucky compared to California, or Washington compared to Florida, you know, those prices are going to vary no matter where you go. So I would never look at the numbers and get a reference from them.
So pricing, no, but at least for like maybe somebody getting an idea for something they might want.
Ideas, yeah, definitely. You know, things roll into ideas all the time. So you see something, you could be walking down the street and look at a building and get an idea. So yeah, those things are good. I think you can definitely feed yourself some things there, but you know, don't try to run with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Don't pick up the hammer yourself.
Don't get imaginations here. Don't make a fairy tale is what I'm saying.
What's something people might be surprised to learn about your job? I always feel like because of things like HGTV, YouTube, etc., I can go get a hammer at Menards. People just maybe think they can do it themselves and then they really can't. That would be like what I would assume people might think is the most surprising.
I think the most surprising thing for a customer to be able to see is how much planning and preparation is involved.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the scenes, you can see things black and white on paper, but you really don't understand the planning and the preparation that needs to be penciled in and drafted out and actually researched to do the project. That's half the project in itself, just having the blueprint or the plan in place and the communication and everybody on the same page. You've got to make sure that everything's dialed in. Otherwise, you're looking at skyrocket prices, or you're undercutting yourself, or you miss this or you miss that. You didn't get the right cabinets or the counters. There's so much that people don't realize in the planning and preparation stage that they would probably be overwhelmed with the amount of information that they would have to hold up and really honestly review and double review. It's like measure twice, cut once. You want to make sure it hits everybody's hands so we're all on the same page. So that would probably be very surprising to a customer that's never been in this industry or seen the backside of things. Everybody wants to say they want this and have a picture in mind and a mock-up or a draft, but they don't realize what the details are behind it.
Yeah. One of the things that always surprised me is I didn't realize, I mean, it's obvious to you, but it's like, you guys do a lot of math. It's all math all day long for you guys.
Yep, it is.
It's wild.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Well, you have totally explained what it's like to design a website for a client.
Yeah, this is weird parallel
on there, because we'll say 80% of what we do you will never see.
Yeah,
that pretty picture there is just that. It's a pretty picture, but for you to see that pretty picture, we had to do all the work behind the scenes on it. And when they don't understand how long something takes.
Right.
And one example that I used even today was talking about setting when you do a website, you have to set it for mobile, for phone. People don't realize how difficult that is. It's not, you just don't just move things around a little bit or whatever. You've got to put what was normally this big in something that is this big.
Exactly.
And it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time.
Exactly.
And when they start making a lot of changes, they don't realize, okay, well, that change just tripled what we have to do, because we have to clean up what you'd had before, and now we have to go back in.
The full revision
process. And
A good example of that would be, I always talk about how I can build websites, but I'm not as good as the professionals here that are actually building them, like Abby. And so I've made a website for myself for something on the side for fun, but I have icons with like the big 6 things you can click at the top. And I didn't optimize it for mobile, so those pictures are the same size, and now they're in a mobile thing, and you have to scroll. And instead of being 6 next to each other, now they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got to scroll forever just to get through the header of my website, and it not optimized for mobile. So that's that's just something people just don't. There's things people don't see all this.
They don't see the behind the scenes stuff, and you know, you've got multiple in the industry of remodeling or renovations. You've got so many options that you can go through, you know, different products and different industries, different types of things that you can do. You've got sometimes 4 or 5 different phone calls that you got to make just to get the right price in their budget, you know, or dialed in. You got to make sure that they're getting the exact project or product and paint or color or scheme or layout. I mean, it takes a lot of time to make sure that you're getting exactly what they want. And I've even seen situations, you know, where you go to Home Depot or Menards, not to degrade them, but even their systems don't do a double check. And you go in there and you want something drafted up, and I've seen it literally delivered wrong. I mean, and it's because it's gone through 4 different hands, and there was no double checking procedures in place. Quality control. You've got to make sure that it's all done right, and so that you're getting the results that you want, you know, getting the product that you want. There's so much planning and preparation to make sure it's done right the first time.
Yeah.
So
that makes me think of, there was one time, and this is actually in your wheelhouse. It had nothing to do with you. It was years ago. We had brought somebody over to change some windows in our house. So we ordered the windows. They go somewhere. They get the windows cut, made, whatever, sent, delivered, wrong size windows. And it's
I'm sure everybody knows that experience too.
I mean, it goes for everything in every industry, but it's just like, you're like, wait a second, how did somebody like you said, didn't do the double check.
Yep. They didn't do their double check. You know, they didn't have 2 people look at it. And that's where we, you know, I have a project manager, I have myself. I oversee everything. I want to make sure it comes through my hands so that we're doing it right the first time and we're not missing any steps.
Yep. We saw both of you guys here, as well as other workers that you guys were working with to help build the wall here. That was one of my favorite things. You came in and checked as well as a project manager.
Exactly. And, you know, like I said, at the beginning of the week, we make sure we assess every job that we're going to. We have notes in place. We have programs in place and apps to make sure we're all communicating. And we're planned and prepared for every job.
I love that.
That's the importance of it, and everybody on the same page.
I love that. I think the last couple we've done, the one with you and the one with Nathan, those are really good ones for people. If you're looking to, what do I need to do to make my business successful? You guys you've been talking about a lot of really hot button things that I think every company would be successful if they actually did these things.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You and Nathan would get along very well together.
Nathan
Yuri from Supreme Painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We had talked about how, like, if I was painting a wall, would it be easy to tell if somebody that wasn't a professional? And he's like, yeah. And I was and then I saw you guys painting this wall. I'm like, Nate would have liked this wall. I bet if Nate walked back in here again, he'd be like, well, I'm glad Peter didn't paint this wall. The professional actually did it.
I'm always about networking with people too. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't want to be the only person doing it. You know, like it goes back to the saying of 2 heads are better than 1. You know, sometimes another contractor can be your help up or your lift. You know, if I don't have time for it, somebody else needs to be doing it. You know, we need to service the customer. That's the bottom line. That's the first and most important thing. Customer needs something, make sure that they get their service. If I can't get to it, somebody else will. And I want them to. You know what I mean?
You need to reach out to him.
No, definitely.
Be a great partnership.
Yeah, that's assets for everybody. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody working together.
So I'm going to say once again, all the links down below for 777 Remodeling, Renovations, and Repair. It's down below. So click on it.
Yep.
Get a hold of John if you guys got some questions about renovating. You want to remodel something, interior, exterior, business, home, does not matter. You can get something done.
Big or small, we do it all.
I love it.
And just hold on to that hammer until you get done talking to John
definitely.
first. Right?
That was actually the last question I was going to ask. What's the first step someone should take? Don't swing the hammer.
Don't swing the hammer.
All right. So the last question I ask everybody is, can you name a time in your life where marketing impacted you and you didn't know it? That could be business, personal, lunchtime, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think marketing just kind of fell in my lap. From everything I've done and experienced over the years, 20 plus years, I've just kind of I've hit and missed on areas. It's like what works, what doesn't work. You kind of get the feel for the cultural change or the people or the community, and then you just kind of see what their needs are. So marketing really, people market themselves the way I see it.
Very good.
They really do. You're walking down the street and you can kind of get into a conversation with somebody about what they see, what they do, who they are. And then you kind of hit it on those points there. What can I do to help them? And that's what I do. I want to be able to service and help everybody. So I'm not engaging into a conversation or talking to somebody for myself or for me. I'm doing it to appease them and make sure that they're happy. So I'm thinking about the other person. It's not a selfish way. It's an unselfish way. I want to be selfless. I want to be able to help everybody around me.
I remember once hearing being selfishly selfless. So if you're so selfless that you're selfishly I need to be selfless to help other people. And that's why I'm doing this. And I'm going to make sure I'm doing that. This has been so eye-opening and so entertaining to hear your perspective on how you approach your business, which is why I think, again, you put up a wall, you mounted a TV, and it seems like something so simple, but it looks so nice, and it got done so well. Everything was clean when you were done. There's no dust anywhere. I mean, it was done. The whole thing was done.
That's a mandatory for everybody. It needs to be clean. It needs to be like you weren't ever here.
Bingo. Yes. Yeah, that was exactly what it was like. Yeah. So I do want to say,
we got policies and procedures put in place with everybody that we need to follow. Yeah. And we want to make sure that the clients always have that comfortable feeling. I want to make sure that we weren't even ever in their house. You know what I mean? Sometimes, in some situations, customers don't want to live in a construction zone.
It's
obviously,
true. Yeah.
Especially when you're drywalling.
Exactly. Exactly. So it gets dusty and dirty, and they got to still cook and clean, and they got their family time. So you make sure that you're taking care of your job sites at the end of the day. So those are procedures that we just make sure that everything's done right.
Oh, I love it, John. Is there anything we missed in the interview?
No, I think we're good. I'm faith-based. I want to make sure that I help everybody, and I want to make sure that this business is able to impact the community in a positive way. We need growth here. We need Fort Dodge to have an update and change, and I want to be a part of that, and that's what we're doing here. When we open up our storefront and our office down here on Central Avenue, we're going to be able to impact the business or the industry in a way where people can grab onto it, and we'll be accessible. We're not going to be just a phone call away. You're going to be able to walk in our door and have access to your questions, have access to the answers and needs that people need in this town and need here in Fort Dodge. Again, from small repairs all the way up to full remodels and renovations, anything that the residents need, the commercial buildings, businesses, we're going to be available for you.
Great.
So
I love it. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, we always have something that we end with, and we have Buster the Bulldog here because we are bulldogs to get your business digitally online. And we asked you just rub Buster's head for just a little good luck there, okay?
Well, my dogs might not like it, but it is what it is.
That's okay.
Thanks, John.
No, I appreciate you guys, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy I'm networking with people in the community. I want to just make sure that everybody's getting a positive thing from this, it's growth and opportunity. And again, if you got any questions, just ask, it's communication the whole way.
Cool.
So
awesome. Links are down below, everybody. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.